I don't mind if the world spins faster. I had a customer a while ago actually bring this up to me, and I thought of doing a video on it. But what does it actually mean to be cool? I want to talk about that. It's a weird topic because I wrote this down the moment I thought of it because I knew I was going to forget. But let's just take me, for instance. I'm a person, and I look up to this one YouTuber. Like, I think they're super cool. Well, no, that's not a great example. Let's take high school. High school is where I was mostly thinking about this example. But let's take me in high school. Let's say I find a person who I want to be friends with, and I think they're super cool. Well, why do I think they're cool? It's most likely because they're doing something that's different to me. Like, let's say they invented this cool way of wearing a sweater or something, and I'm like, oh my God, that's so cool. Well, the reality is that that person is probably copying someone else, not intentionally doing it to stand out or be cool or anything like that. Well, maybe, yeah, to be cool, but they're doing that because they also find someone else doing it to be cool. Being cool can be taken as doing something that you see. It's not necessarily being unique. Again, it's not always the case, but this is what I find as a reoccurring pattern. Like, if you do something that's cool, it's probably because someone you saw doing it found another person who was doing it, so forth. It's something so weird to think about that, like, a trend that you saw someone do, that trend has probably gone through at least like 10 other people before it reached you, which is super crazy to think that like trends and like popular, anything that goes viral, popular, that's how it kind of spreads around, is because people think that it's cool or it stands out as something that's different. And that can be good or bad. Doesn't necessarily matter. There's a fly in my camera. Get out. This ain't your video. That doesn't mean bug me. I was never someone who I thought was like a cool person, but I always did want to be kind of cooler. I mean, especially if you take a look at me in freshman year. I'm going to regret if I actually put a picture of me from that year up on the screen. But I obviously I didn't really look cool. The only thing I can really say about my freshman year of high school is that like I passed with basically all A's. But yeah, I didn't really give a shit about my looks. I didn't really care about becoming cool or looking cool or doing the cool stuff. Like, there was someone I knew in high school. He was the first person I met when I moved here. He doesn't watch these videos, but he tried getting me to do something that I didn't want to do. He wanted to show me something that I just didn't find an interest in. Like, he did this thing. He liked doing this thing. And he was like, oh, I want to show you it. And I'm like, no, I'm good. And he constantly tried to push me into, like, this place of, like, well, you should just do it. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do this thing. It makes me feel uncomfortable. And that's what I really learned my boundaries with a lot of stuff. Like, being cool doesn't mean you have to do what everyone else is doing. Like I said, being cool starts from someone doing something different or unique. Like, you can be cool in your own way. You don't need anyone's validation for that. We're going to get personal for a second. I'm not a big fan of smoking. Don't like it ever since I was really young. And that's one of those things that I find in a partner specifically that I'm just like, okay, cool. Like, I don't mind if you do it. It's not a personal preference that I want you to, but I'm not someone who's going to want to do that at all. And there have been people in the past that have tried to like convince me to try it, and I'm like, okay, cool. I'll never. One of the things that I always tell myself is that I'll never turn down the chance to try something once. Smoking in any fashion will be one of those rare things that I will just say no to. Because yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm not trying to fuck up my lungs. That's just no. There are so many better things that you could be doing with your time. Like, okay, I could make a whole video on smoking, but I'm not going to, because assuming most people who do smoke know the effects of it and probably know more about it than me. And if you're still doing it, well, hey, I'm not one to tell you how to live your life. Just be careful of what can happen. Because, I lost a very memorable family member due to that. So that's the personal reason why I don't do it. And I don't really like seeing my loved ones doing it. Okay, this got real personal real fast. The point of today's video is basically don't feel like you need to be cool to fit in or because you want someone to like you, because honestly, this might sound cringy, but you are cool the way you are. You don't need to show anyone that. Just as long as you know it, that's all that matters.